watch this acrobatic guy.
You love this guy, don't you?
Yeah, I do. He does something he does something I would never do.
Shaq watching the halftime activities here.
That's a nice looking onesie.
Well, thanks.
What's your name?
Gary Sladek, a.k.a. the Amazing Sladek.
So how do you feel usually around like this time, a couple hours before?
The anxiety actually kicks in during the day of a performance, but right about now, whenever you see my hands rubbing together, you know.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a professional athlete. But as life progressed, and I found out my ticket to the genetic lottery wasn't a winning one, I shifted my focus. I still wanted to make it under the lights, but now, as a halftime performer. With unlimited resources and a multi-million-dollar budget, I was able to live out that journey. This is half the story.
I know he came up from Florida. He said he drove 800 miles to get here. What's good, my guy? How are you, sir? What's going on?
At 60 years old, Gary Bosselman, aka the Amazing Sladek, is America's oldest daredevil. He makes his living performing at NBA halftime shows, traveling the country in his trusty van with 6 wooden chairs and 98 wardrobe combinations.
I do between 50 and 60,000 miles a season, from October to June, between 50 and 60,000. If you put your fingers on these chairs, you'll see it's an old school Daredevil act. There's no gimmicks, no safeties, nothing. It's not a magic act, it's an old school Daredevil act.
Every week, Sladek risks death for our entertainment. Stacking 6 chairs, one atop the other, he balances for glory. After 40 years in the spotlight, he's no stranger to skeptics. Even his old man wanted him to outfit the chairs with gimmicks.
My dad, God rest his soul, he's been gone for 2 years. He said, Gary, you gotta put the little dowel rods like all the other young guys who do your act. They put the little gimmick in there. I said, Dad, I'm old school. I've been doing it for all these years. I would know it. He goes, half the fans think you're sticking them together anyway. I said, I invite anybody, come down, look at my chairs, inspect my chairs. Old school Daredevil act. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
The chairs are
any other way.
It was clear that Sladek was passionate about his chairs and his act. He invited me to his hotel's fitness center to show me what it takes to stay on top of the Daredevil world for 40 years.
Everything I do is body mechanics and total body control. My routine is a series of stretches, core exercise, handstand. And then I do this 10 different times. Only thing touching the ground is your butt. You lean here, straight arms, 50 pumps. 3, 4, 5, 9, 50. And then I grab here. And I try to balance as I lift my feet up. Now I'm ready for my first handstand. Hold it.
As a 60-year-old with such a rigid workout routine and such wonderful, beautiful legs, I started to wonder, is Sladek even human? But he has gotten hurt. He told me about an injury he sustained last December while performing for the Orlando Magic.
You've got 3 muscles that attach your hamstring to your ass bone, right at the top of your femur. 2 out of the 3, as I was going for the handspring, ripped completely off the bone.
You ripped the ass?
I fell flat on my face. I got up like this. I didn't even know what hit me. I thought I slipped on one of the basketball players' sweat. And I went to walk, and I went, whoa, and my leg went that way. I'm in so much pain. I don't know what's good. It's like buzzing. I can feel it's buzzing.
Not only does Sladek mount the table and complete his routine with virtually all of his weight on one leg, but he opted out of surgery and its 6-month recovery in order to finish the rest of the season like the showman he is.
And my brother Jimmy comes over, he goes, you want a board? You want a board? I said, give me the chair!
We stood here another 10 minutes discussing Gary's lengthy ass recovery before he invited me upstairs to his room to show me his Diet Coke collection and one of his 98 wardrobe combinations that he'll be wearing tomorrow. Just before I left, he hit me with a surprise.
I had something that I brought to show you.
What do you got?
I brought you a gift. I remember on the phone I told you I was in a book, and it's called The Arena. Great author, great guy. He traveled with me, and he documented some things, and he loved my act so much. He says, I want to feature you in my entertainment section, like fan entertainment. And he did 20 pages on me. I was I was flabbergasted. I'm just so honored.
No way. That's
So I brought you a
badass.
gift. I brought you a book, and
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to inscribe it for you.
Okay.
Bro, I'm going to inscribe it for you, but I'm going to wait until after our total experience together and you as my partner performing with me, because they're watching both of us. So it's going to be our act together. And I want to wait to see how the experience goes, because I want, that to be a feel of my inscription in the book.
You want to make sure I don't fuck up.
It's a really good read.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It has a little dark side of Sladek in there, so
You said something about this, and I've been waiting to read the book to find out what the dark side's all about.
I just want to just preface it with letting you know that I've been a Boy Scout all my life. I've never done a mean thing in my life. I've never hurt anybody. I'm not a mean bone in my body, and I've been a Boy Scout all my life, camping and scouts. I'm a life scout, and I live myself like a Boy Scout. But there's a little dark side of the Amazing Sladek in his life that I had to overcome, and it's documented in the book, and please don't hold that against me.
It was time for me to get the hell out of there. I needed my beauty rest before the big day. I woke up early the next morning to polish off his memoir, then rushed to his room to discuss my discovery.
So I read his book last night. You want to know what he did? You don't want to know what he was? I feel like it had me on the edge of my seat waiting. So it was child prostitution.
I knew we'd say something like that. Now I have to go register. I'm gonna have to register in every state.
No, my man did.
Gotta be shitting me.
No, my man did like a year and a half for possession of a controlled substance.
Yes.
He had some coke on him.
When I was in school, you were a jock, or you were a head, or you were a head jock, and I was a head jock. I was captain of my gymnastic team, New York State champion gymnastics, but I was also smoking pot at the same time, because it's the neighborhood we grew up in, it's
Right.
the era that we grew up in.
Right.
And then 1990, I tried cocaine. I'm in show business. People in show business, they're putting things in front of you.
In the
And
book,
I've
it
always
was
been
like-
my own person,
Yeah,
but
no.
you know what? I tried cocaine and I liked it, so I.
It said now that was a drug in the book. They
say
said
that.
coke.
I'll have to read
now,
it again.
Now that was
I'll
a
have
drug.
to read it again. No matter how strong you are, it'll take hold of you. And it was taking hold of me. I was doing too much coke. And I got set up and I went to prison for over a year. Once the coke was out of my blood, and I felt so guilty for what I did to myself and what I was doing to myself and my family, I was already done with it.
Mm-hmm.
The madness had to stop.
You're already a gregarious person who's like, you connect with people, and like
Absolutely.
drugs are a way to connect with people. You know what I mean? Like
I was
there's
always the
like,
life of the party. I
Right.
was always footing
makes
the
sense.
bill. I was always, people fed off me. I just wanted. I've been a guy that's always, I'm very sure of myself. At the same time, I'm very insecure. I love attention. I love the attention. I just want a pat on the back. I just want everybody to like me.
Right.
When you see me on Center Court tonight and I do my show, I'm so embraced with the fans and the audience, because I'm so emotional that they're loving my act, and I just love them for loving me, and it's a give back thing,
After listening to Sladek's confession about his nasty cocaine habit, we decided to hit Beale Street for his vaunted 5 for 50 challenge. The challenge is simple. He gathers a crowd and promises $50 to any stranger who can match his feat of superhuman strength for 5 seconds. It was quickly clear that no pedestrian was equipped to do even the simplest part of Sladek's act. And, with no one able to complete the challenge, Sladek could roll up his 50 and put it to better use. The fun and games were over. It was time to head to FedEx Forum Arena.
This is where I'm going to be parked, I think, in this parking lot. I think this is, maybe not, we'll see.
With the cart safely stowed, we were escorted through a maze of hallways to our green room, where we could chew the fat and take our minds off the big performance for which I'd yet to rehearse. We relaxed with some good old-fashioned performer talk.
Do you even bother with Facebook? Are you on Facebook?
No, it's like Twitter, Instagram.
Well, you young guys, nobody wants to do Facebook. That's like for old boys.
Gary showed me his favorite meme before heading back to the court to catch the tip-off. I decided to hang back and work on my theatrics. Before long, I was dialed in. I could practically hear the crowd cheering my name.
Rone, 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 Rone. Yeah.
With that, it was finally time for a live rehearsal. I met Sladek by the chairs to help him set up. I wanted to show him that I wasn't afraid to get my hands dirty.
First chair, right here. Boom. Hand it right to me. Hand every chair the same way. Back to me. Keep it close to the chest. And then shimmy it up. No, don't trust your hands. Look. I'm a 60-year-old man, bro, and you're twice as strong as me. Don't take your hands off the pole, bro. Look. Now listen, you gotta be able to do it. If you can't do it, I'm gonna get somebody else to do it. You gotta be back. Now get it all the way up. Slide your hands. There you go. Keep it close to the chest. Close to the chest. That's your best one yet.
With one successful lift under my belt, I was ready. It was almost halftime. We met up with the rest of the guys and went over the routine one last time before taking the court. And the show began. Sladek was even more majestic up close. And suddenly, I understood. Each chair represented a tribulation from Sladek's life. Each one an obstacle he had to overcome. The Coke, the Diet Cokes, the slips, the falls. Each one was part of the magnificent scaffolding upon which the world's oldest Daredevil risks his life. And as the sea of 20,000 faces looked on breathlessly, a palpable transfer of energy was taking place. The higher he climbed, the more Sladek's chest swelled with pride. His age was an illusion that he had dispelled long ago. Every misstep he'd made through his life melted away as his laser focus intensified. And in that moment, I realized Sladek was fueling up on that special something he'd been searching for his whole life. Coke. Just kidding. Love.
To my new great buddy, Rone, all I have to say is that not only are you a talented, great guy, I am so honored that you chose me to do a feature documentary story about. I had the best time with you and Dana. It's an experience I will never forget. Thanks for enduring my long-winded stories, and I hope I was a very interesting character, and more so, a new great friend. You were amazing on center court, bro. All the best. Sladek, my guy, great friends. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, my guy.
You too, man.
Hell yeah, man. We'll get matching thongs someday, man.
Absolutely matching thongs with the rhinestones and the gauntlets and the toe point and everything that goes with it.
Bro, everything.
God.
The mullets will be looking fantastic.